Hi guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. I hope you all had a wonderful week and are ready for a podcast. With that being said, let's get right into it. Hey guys, I just want to preface this segment by saying I am very sorry about my audio. I got a new webcam and I did not realize that my audio is going to be completely taken over by that webcam until after I got done shooting. So I do apologize in advance. If you want to, just skip halfway through the episode and jump right into the gaming topic. I know it is very frustrating to not be able to hear very well, but like I said, if you don't want to have to deal with that, you can just skip halfway into the episode and everything is resolved when we switch to gaming. Thanks. Enjoy the episode. Hey, what's going on, guys? A couple top of the show things before we get into the meat and potatoes of everything. I just wanted to announce that there is a big car meetup, or maybe not big, but there's a local meetup this weekend, this Saturday, between the times of 5 p.m. and 8 a.m. at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's Zach White, our friend of the show, Modified Worlds meetup. It's just going to be a small local one. Show up if you're out. Weather should be pretty nice. It looks like it's going to be nice and sunny, and we're gonna do what we can to show up. We might be a little fashionably late. We've got some podcast stuff we're going to be handling. Can't quite get into it yet, but some very, very exciting stuff for the show, and I cannot wait to tell you guys what side project we're going to be working on. But local meetup for sure, going to be Saturday, and be looking out for a special project that I'll get into definitely for sure next week. So stay tuned next week to find out what we were up to this Saturday. But yeah, other than that, you saw the title of the episode. I wanted to dedicate this half of the episode to our Mustang guys. And as you probably might have expected me to get on a tirade about why, hate Mustang and hate Ford, I'm a Chevy guy, all that. But I actually want to say, dear Mustang guys, half of you need to realize that you think that you're faster than everybody else. You aren't, but you have the potential to be. I feel like a lot of Mustang guys, a close friend of ours included, who has a Mustang, not really a car guy, but kind of getting into being one, they don't really realize that their car could be so much more if you just find some way to give that Coyote some boost.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you Mustang guys can talk so much crap if you just put some boost on. There's Coyotes that are running like between 800 to 1,000 horse on stock internals. Like, it probably ain't good on stock internals, but they'll make
You can
that
get
power.
away with it.
I'm telling you. And I didn't know that either until I really started looking into the Coyotes, and I'm like, dang, those Coyotes, man, they they be wanting that boost.
Yeah, they just respond so much better than the LS. You really can't say the LS is better. I just can't agree with that.
Yeah, and another thing that the Coyotes do, man, they just like if you run more than just for a short little rip, those Coyotes will run you down if you're in an LS.
Yeah, they run you down on the top end for sure.
I mean that they get their name the Coyote for a reason. They just run their prey down and catch them whenever the prey runs out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is crazy because a lot of people, especially like myself, that don't really look anywhere past GM, don't really realize. They just think Ford, and I'm like, I ain't a Ford guy. Screw Ford. I was right there with you, and I still, I have my biases, of course, because I've always been a Chevy guy. But you can't denounce the fact that the Coyote, man, you just can't put it down. You can't. I mean, and it goes the same way. Coyote guys, you can't really put us LS guys down because if you don't have boost, you're not gonna get the gap, but you're gonna
Yeah,
get
you
that
ain't doing
elbow.
too good without boost.
But crowd killing aside, the Coyotes, they get down. Like I said, with boost.
They're so efficient. They just react so good to, more fuel, more air.
And you Fox body guys, I love to see it whenever a Fox body guy either does the typical LS swap, but I love to see whenever somebody puts a Coyote in a Fox body.
Yeah, I love Coyote Fox.
That's like, I don't know. I think my favorite body style still probably is the S550, but man, I really like a Fox body. I'm starting to really grow on the '80s body style cars.
And New Edge.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm not quite down on the new Edge, but that Mach 1 looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Shoot, the Termy too.
Yeah, the Terminator car too. Yeah, the more I see him at car meets, the more I'm starting to kind of warm up to him. Unlike the Catfish, which I'll never warm up to ever. Uh,
Damn.
but the Mach 1s look super nice. Terminator cars. I don't know. I've always been that narrow-minded GM guy who just sees a Mustang and I'm like, yeah, Ford. I bet you won't make it very far in that thing.
Uh,
But you just kind of got to look past your narrow mind sometimes and open up like,
yeah, I think a lot of people don't really like they're letting their unright opinions ruin perhaps enjoying car culture.
yeah. I mean, you big GM guy, went from an S10 to went from a C10 to an S10 or which way ever you
Yeah,
feel,
either way.
still owning a C10 to this day, still bow tie till you die, have a Camaro. You almost got a Mustang before you got your Camaro. I mean, it was I would say
I was on the search for one.
if you'd
If I
found the
saw
right
Luke's car, I would have bought it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Mustangs. It's just the Gen 1 Coyote, I'm kind of
Well, on top of you working at the time at a Ford dealership, it was almost like a no-brainer. I mean, you already have the tools and the everything's there for you to do what you need to on your car. I'm sure
yeah,
getting
that was
parts is not
another
a
reason I
problem.
wanted to get one was because it was parts and figuring out, anything I needed to work on. I had a book there to show me how to do it on the.
Right. And people with experience, that have worked on those cars prior, it was almost a no-brainer. I was pretty happy, not gonna lie, whenever you got your Camaro because I already
Ah,
had two, so I was overjoyed, and yeah, I'm really glad you got what you got. But
I am too.
I couldn't have hated because we had a good friend Tyler. He's got a S550 car, and man, I love that thing. It looks especially with that PP1 package.
Yeah.
Man, that thing just like, and I didn't really realize it until the other day whenever he was over at my shop that that car actually has vents that go directly underneath the hood. Like it's man, that car just looks so cool up close. Like the minor
Yeah, that's not
details.
factory, but
Oh, I
I
thought it
like it.
was. Man,
The hood's not factory, and then the headlights aren't.
dang, that is
But
still
they're OEM looking, like it's an OEM hood with vents cut in it.
yeah. That man, the aftermarket support for Mustang too. I mean, it's just as good as GM. LS
Yeah,
definitely has more than the Coyote, but as far as body
even the
style,
730s and stuff now, they're, I'm not as big on the 730, but there is aftermarket for that too.
yeah, a lot of manufacturers are really jumping on it. I'm not
Uh,
sure if it's Texas Speed. I think somebody has already come
yeah,
out
they
with the
are.
heads. Yeah,
Tech Speed has cam and headers and a few things. I know. I don't know if they got heads.
those cars still have the double. I can't remember what that's called. I know it's not wishbone, but it's got the same lifters almost as an LS. But yeah, you gotta give props to Mustang for not shutting it down in the mid 2000s like GM did with the Camaro.
Mid 2020s.
Yeah, the and I will say it's like that. Those cars are like the most ragged on Mustangs that there are out there. Like those
I agree.
those mid 2000, even from like the SN97 all the way up to like just before the S whatever body style Luke's is. Like all the like catfish body style Mustangs. God, dude, people just rag on them. I guess it's because they're so inexpensive. I mean, you can pick one up like dirt cheap, but man, like everybody I see, even like our buddy, I think his name. Man, I can't remember his name. You're
Beth?
always like popping and doing crazy stuff by his house. He's got that
Oh,
black.
Ashton?
Yeah, Ashton. I remember at the last car meet, he's like, "You want to see me do a wheelie?" He's like, "Let me change his pinion angle."
go to a wrench.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like the Mustang drag car guys. They're the funniest.
yeah, they are, and you're seeing more and more of the of that body style turning into drag cars. Like,
Yeah, they're really popular.
they get a little overshadowed by the Fox body guys, but these like SM197 guys, they're getting out there. And I mean, there's a lot of support for that particular body style of Mustang, and I completely understand why. I mean, it's
Joe still had
Mustang's.
the world record for a minute in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mustang's F body, or catfish car.
Yeah, I agree. The new Edge in SN95 is definitely that.
I
Or
don't.
is it SN94? I can never remember.
Yeah, the mid 2000s cars, I just get them all mixed up on the body styles between the new Edge, the
I'm talking
SN97.
about the 90s.
Oh yeah, yeah, the new Edge and all those. Yeah,
That's 197's Luke's body style. I know that. And then S550.
right. Yeah, all those are like the up like 2010s around there.
Yeah.
But
'05 to 14 and then 15 up.
I do find it a little weird that like that body style, the mid 2000s, you just don't really see them doing much other than like drag racing. Like I never really see many of them on road course or autocross drifting.
Yeah, they're pretty good at road course too. I've seen a few of them built for it.
The
They're
only
not like a real heavy car. They're about like a third gen, really.
Yeah, the I mean, whenever I think of Mustang and a Mustang doing something other than drag racing, I obviously, just like anybody else's, mind goes to Von Gittin Jr. With the
Yeah,
S550, the R&R car, RTR cars.
yeah, that thing is dope.
Yeah, man, those cars just like, man, he's like the Kent Block of our generation.
Yeah,
Without He's built such a
he's the new Ken Block.
He really is. Yeah, and man, his car, like, I think that's if you have an S550, that's like one of my favorite like tasteful aftermarket mods, is having those like corner lights in the grill. That looks so clean.
Yeah, I love the RTR grills. Definitely not like you don't see them a lot on cars.
No, and RTR's got some nice wheels too. I'm sure they're expensive, but they got
Yeah,
some nice wheels
the
too.
the RTR S650 looks really cool too.
Yeah, but that kind of makes me want to come back to the old cars, like the '60s, man. Like, just like any muscle car. I mean, Mustang, any really '60s sports car or muscle car, in my opinion, just looks so clean. But there's just something about a Boss Mustang that just, like, God, man, they look so good.
Yeah, like a '69 GT 500 is like sheesh.
And just the name itself, like it having a boss in it, like that just sounds so cool.
Yeah, I had a coworker at Ford with the Boss 13 or 14, and he sold it so cheap too. It was a Seca Laguna or Laguna Seca. I can't remember which one's first, but basically no receipts from factory. It's a factory like road course car.
Oh wow, in the
Yeah, a
'60s.
lot of people. No, in 2013 or
Oh,
14.
okay, I got you.
I just want to mention that because a lot of people don't know about those, and I just think they're so cool.
Yeah, I didn't know about that, and I really do appreciate the auto manufacturers are catering to the performance side of things.
Yeah, and you think about the new Mustang with the electronic handbrake there.
Yeah, yeah, that, or like even though the vehicles are starting to go to paddle shifters, that's something I really appreciate about the C8, is that you can hold back on both paddle shifters and essentially puts the car in neutral, so you can essentially clutch dump the car.
Yeah, and I mean the new Mustang coming out with a Tremec. Who's not gonna like that?
Yeah, like, who would have expected that? Especially like the
I
RPM
mean,
factor.
I kind of expected it because that MT82. I'm surprised they're still using it because that thing is junk.
Yeah. I mean, you for one can speak on that. Working at a Ford dealership, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of junked MT82s.
I mean, who hasn't? If you worked in the service industry, that's just common.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could even circle back to the whole catering to the more performance side of things. I mean, the with the exclusion of options with Dodges, like I don't know if it's the Demon or the Hellcat, only has like one speaker, and of course that's only because it's
I think that's
regulation.
the demon.
Yeah, it's like regulation to have door chimes and stuff, of course, but that plus, like, you told me recently, and I even had to fact check it because I'm like, there ain't no way, but the
Huh,
even going back to the 2014 Camaro L
one LE.
1LE has lighter door. They have aluminum doors along with aluminum wheels. So they are cutting weight anywhere they can. They know that we're out here, either on the track, drag strip, road course. We're putting down times.
Hey, you see fiber wheels on the new GT 500. A lot of people don't know how much rotating mass like that, like not just static weight, but rotating weight. That's even better. Like anything that's spinning in circles, centrifugal force, anything lighter, especially at the wheels, you're gonna dyno more power with lighter wheels. That's just a fact.
Yeah, yeah. I like how auto manufacturers are catering to the car enthusiasts. And it's kind of funny whenever you see people. I'm calling out you people that just have screw you money, but like people buy these cars not really knowing all the logistics behind it, and you know they don't really advertise. Some people don't even really advertise 1LEs as 1LEs because it's not really that crazy of a package. I mean, there's a few minute differences, but compared to a SS to a, let's say, a ZL1, of course, huge difference. It's got a blower, all that. But whenever you go SS to 1LE, there's just like, compared to the ZL1, there's not really that crazy much differences other than the doors, a few other things. But
Rear
these,
gear.
yeah, these people who don't know much about the trim packages, it's funny to see somebody advertise, I've got a SS Camaro. Well, it's actually a 1LE and he don't even know it. It's kind of
Yeah, I'm
funny to
pretty
see.
sure the 1LE, it's not fourth is 1-to-1, it's fifth gear's 1-to-1 on the trans.
See, it's just like, and these people don't know that, I mean, red flag to
I
me,
mean, a lot of people don't.
thumbing through pictures and I see Recaro seats and I'm like, hey, yo.
Yeah, those are Caros. Jeez.
That's red
If I could
flag
just
number
have some.
one. Yeah, I mean, the price jump on the Recaros to buy them, dude, that's so crazy. You could almost buy like a parted out 1LE and just sell the seats and make your money back.
You could.
People don't really realize the markup on those seats. It's ridiculous. I mean, some people do. I saw a shell of a 1LE for sale, and I kid you not, the only thing taken out of it was, well, of course, the drivetrain was gone, motor was gone, but of course, the seats, the steering wheel, and the shifter were all gone. I'm like,
Oh
man,
yeah,
they
gotta
they
get the Alcantara.
they knew what they were looking for when they gutted this one.
Yeah, I need the steering wheel.
But yeah, I mean, I'd love to get super, super deep into the Mustang packages, but I just don't know too much about them. I just wanted to hit on the. I definitely wanted to tell you Coyote guys about the boost. If you're listening and you're kind of dipping your toes in, and maybe you have a Coyote or no friend with a Coyote, go tell them to get some boost because that's man, your car is not going to be the same animal whenever it's on some boost. Or
Yeah,
even a tune. I mean, Coyotes. I don't really. I can't remember. I know your shop dynoed did a dyno tune on, maybe it was Tyler's car or a similar a
we
Coyote.
know Tyler's.
But the power gain was pretty significant. It was a little more than I was expecting, if I'm going to be honest.
Tyler's made 440 with no timing because it was heat soak and pulling it. But a Gen 2 full bolt-on E85, probably looking at like 460 wheel.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there making the same power as us, and we've got a cam.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, I'm making like closer to 5 with a cam.
You made 460, I thought, or 450.
Yeah, yeah, somewhere around there. No, I'm
I
pretty sure
made 460 with
470.
my first tune on 93, but when I swapped to ethanol, I was like 480,
Yeah,
maybe 490. I'm somewhere around there.
it is nice to see the Mustang guys keeping up somewhat with power numbers, but man, I'm telling you,
It's hard to in a.
look up some videos of a Coyote on Boost. It'll have you going to the bank in the morning, checking on a bank loan on a Whipple or what
F-150. I
F
mean,
one.
Ford just put out the supercharger that comes with a warranty for like 12 grand,
Oh
and you make like
wow!
700 horsepower.
I'm trying to think of any other blower brands that work really well with the Coyote. I know for sure a lot of people go Whipple, but that's of course really expensive.
Ford, you just get a GT 500 one.
Yeah, yeah, GT 500. I mean, if you watch Cletus, he had one in Neighbor for the longest time. I mean, he ran that car. I think he blew it up with like 20 pounds of oil pressure. He was like, I know it's going to blow up. I'm just going to put her down anyways. And it just kept going and going. It's like it wouldn't die.
Yeah, don't be underestimating Coyote.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do, especially like your old fashioned
The
GM
C6
LS3s.
owners are the worst, dude. Every C6 owner like, oh, I was Gap Coyotes.
C6 guys, they think they can gap anything with that 6.0. That's the 6.0 that could, buddy.
Well, 6.0, uh, an LS2 C6 is the worst car, so don't even get me started on that.
It sounds like we might need to
Fucking,
do a deer
yeah,
Corvette on that.
4L6, 4L60 too. Like, God, GM, what are you doing? No 4L80? Like,
And don't tell me it's an iron block 6.0 in the Corvettes.
no, no, it's
No.
not.
Okay, I was gonna say even worse, an iron block 6.0 in a C6.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those cars are Iron Block 6.0 because they've blown up.
I was gonna say, you imagine junking one out and a shop just ripping somebody off by putting an iron block in there.
I mean, I can. I've seen it.
I mean, it happened to again. It happened to Cletus whenever he bought his C6. He bought it from Copart and started doing some digging into it. And
Yeah, I
yeah, he had
saw
a truck
that.
motor in it. Yeah, he got really ripped off. He probably paid like C6 money for it too. He got a truck motor in it.
Yeah, you want an LS3 and you get a 6.0 or 5.3. Yeah, that's a big rip.
Luckily, he's kind of got the money to turn that car into the 6 or 7 second car it is now. But had that happened to like me or you, where it's like we're dumping everything we have into a new project just to get screwed over.
It happened to Caleb with those heads.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it.
Yeah, there's definitely like you just gotta do your homework.
Yeah, I would say though, especially like buying vehicles off marketplace and stuff. Like, man, you
Know
really
your head castings. Know check the VIN. Like know what you're
even
supposed to be looking at.
yeah, even like I mean, just look up common issues with the car that you're thinking about picking up. I mean, that way you know at least
Oh
the red
yeah,
flags on what to look for. I
we
look at
had a
those.
Dodge on the dyno today. Never made a noise. You know, we didn't really test drive it before we worked on it, but
Yeah.
get on, get cam in, fix. We had a vacuum issue, I think, or no, we had a fuse pulled for the fuel pump. I didn't realize it, so wasn't running. But finally, we got it running. Figured out. Oh, Matt forgot to fuse. Got it running. Drove it down the road. I wasn't there for that. I was working, but did some test runs. Ran good.
uh,
It was a tune from a Diablo tuner, so we didn't tune it, but
uh,
already had a stall put in at another shop or something. And we get on the dyno and we start hearing this noise. And at first we were thinking like, you know, AC or something like it's just a high pitched like squeal like pressure was like leaking off somewhere. We thought it was AC. And it wasn't. I had my stethoscope out and I put it on the bell housing, dude. Whoever put this stall in this truck, I don't know if they checked the pull of the stall, you know, how much clearance it had or not,
yeah.
because it was making some noise. Dude, I've never heard one do this, but apparently it's like a common issue.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
we got
Mopar
a
just
prime
has
example of one today.
Mopar is just wild with. I mean, like the Mopar is notoriously noisy with its you know you get lifter tick over time, and I don't know.
Oh, I mean, their cams are worse than GM about, you know, getting ticked.
Yeah,
Lifters are junk.
for sure. I was gonna circle back to something, but I man got on a
Huh.
whole tangent and done forgot. But oh yeah, I was gonna say that you saying the whole check your VIN, check your everything. I plan on going into like a deep dive on the mini series on my whole experience with buying a car off marketplace because it has not been pleasant. To this day, I'm
Ah,
still finding things that are not pleasant about the car that I got as my
this
bride
is why you
price.
buy rollers.
Yeah, that car is such an I told you so. But yeah, that's just kind of teasing to the mini series. And you know if you made it this far, I can go ahead and reward you with I want to kind of make the mini series where we tell stories. I think that's just like a great idea. It seems like stories
Yeah,
really
I
motivate
agree.
people, and
We got some good ones.
yeah, definitely got some great stories and some great guests coming out, and I'm very excited about our mini series coming up very very soon. So
Yeah, I feel like we should do one every summer, honestly, because of the weather.
yeah, it's nice have people out. You know, it's smoke some meat, have some lunch between shoots, and yeah, I think it'd be a. I think you're right. It'd be a great thing to do yearly.
For sure.
But we're gonna throw it to a quick break, and we'll be right back with our gaming topic.
So I know I was there too, or I was watching the live stream of the Summer Games Fest. So I'll have to fill you in on what all was announced and kind of teased at this event. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with at least one of the entries that I saw today.
Later on me, Bo.
So at the Summer Games Fest, they opened up with some pretty heavy hitters. Of course, I'm not going to cover everything because some of the games I'm just not really that entitled to talk about because it's not really my kind of game. But I'll talk about one franchise that I know we both haven't played in a while. I kept up with it up to a certain point, and really the title had me, which we got all the way up to Mortal Kombat 11, which came out four or 5 years ago, which I don't think I ever got the chance to play. I played 10 and 9 for sure. I used to play Mortal Kombat, like I'd play every single one of the new ones, including like the story was really what had me.
Yeah.
But what kind of had me captivated was the name of the new Mortal Kombat game is Mortal Kombat 1. I'm like,
Oh, they're pulling a Battlefield.
not necessarily. So I like I said, I never got to play Mortal Kombat 11, especially the story. But this is a spoiler if you haven't played the game. I didn't know either. They kind of just spoiled it for me without telling, without any preface. But Mortal Kombat 11 ends with Liu Kang becoming Lord of Thunder or whatever, like
Yeah.
God of Thunder. Or sorry, no, God of Fire. Sorry, but being that. Liu Kang, or for some reason I didn't quite get the whole gist of it, but the premise of Mortal Kombat 1, why they changed it to Mortal Kombat 1, is it's going to be a whole new timeline.
Okay, yeah.
So, and
Same characters, I'm guessing.
yeah, same characters, and this is just kind of talking about the story side of Mortal Kombat 1. From what they showed in the showcase, man, it's going to be crazy, like how far back they're kind of doing these characters, which Liu Kang is Lord or God of Fire, so he's kind of looks, for the most part, looks like he's excluded from the timeline change. He's kind of still him current self as Fire God. But what shocked me was to see Raiden as a monk, like still in training. I'm like, wow, yeah. I don't think we've ever seen that in any of the MK universes. Raiden at the like bottom of the barrel, like just starting out, because in every MK adaptation, he's always been kind of like the everybody's sensei.
Goat.
Yeah. You know, we of course saw Kung Lao and Liu Kang come up as, you know, I mean, in some iterations whenever they were just children. And, you know, it might be a stretch to say it has been a while since we saw the Mortal Kombat movie on HBO, so it might be a stretch to expect Mortal Kombat 2 or Part 2 to come out around the same time as the release in this, I want to say September of this year, but I kind of see that to be a really far stretch, being that we haven't seen any trailers yet, and, you know, that's like 3 months away. But it would be a banger.
I think we need to cross our fingers.
Yeah, because, man, they killed it with that Mortal Kombat TV movie. That was great. Or was it? No,
yeah,
it was. I thought it was. For some reason, I was thinking it was a series, but no, it was a movie.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
So, I don't know if you played much of the old Mortal Kombat, like, multiplayer, or at least, like, you know, played with your buddies or whatever.
I know my dad some.
But they changed the combat, like, not really a lot, but they added a feature to the combat where you could have cameos. So whenever you're picking your fighter, you can pick another fighter to kind of be on the sidelines. So say you're hitting a combo or whatever, you have another meter, and whenever it fills up, you can hit a button, and at the end of your combo, your cameo character, say you're playing as Raiden, you hit that button, and then here comes like Kung Lao or somebody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool, which they had the actual creator of Mortal Kombat on stage talking about this. The concept of being in a different timeline, they had it to where the most unlikely people are cameoed together. So typically people that are rivals
It's
in...
like Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So people that are typically rivals are teamed up. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see even how that adapts in the story. It's going to be weird seeing, well, the most notorious cameo that, and I think it might have been the main fatality they showed at the presentation, but it was Sub-Zero and Scorpion as a cameo. Like,
Huh.
literally polar opposites. Like,
Oh,
they're
hate
fighting.
each other?
Yeah, they're fighting in every single game, like the trailers, everything. It was weird to see them two partnered up together. It'll be cool to see who they have with partnered up. That was the main one I wanted to hit on. There was some like smaller stuff. If you're a big Dead by Daylight guy, they actually had Nicolas Cage there, but Nicolas Cage is going to be in the game as a playable character, DLC character.
Cool.
It was kind of weird to hear him on stage talk, which, he's an actor. This is the first video game he's ever been in. He was talking about, how do you like the game? What do you think about the game? And man, he really cares about what he was doing. He's like, I want you to feel like me and you are in this together. Like, I want you to be immersed with my character and really be with me in this experience. It was really cool to hear him kind of break down how he felt about him being in a video game.
Yeah, that's cool to hear, especially since, he almost went bankrupt and stuff. I'm glad to see he's still
He's
doing
still
shit.
kicking. Yeah. I'm trying to follow a little bit chronologically. There was some stuff
New
released about
Minecraft update.
Yeah, which that wasn't the Summer Games, but yeah, new Minecraft update, restarted our server. If you've been keeping up with our podcast chronologically, we've been on a Minecraft grind like crazy. Yeah, we haven't really delved too deep. We're still in the early stages of our server, but yeah, from what we've read, there's the new mob that's, he sniffs out stuff or something. Still don't really know where he
Mobheads.
spawns. Yeah, Mobhead's having the whole like note block thing. That's cool.
Yeah. Cherry Blossom.
The armor trim, really, man. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like that needed to be in the game a long time ago. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know how you necessarily go about making the armor trim, but
You gotta find it.
oh, see, that's even neater. I think that's
You gotta dig it up in there's like logical sites, and then also in bastions and shit. And netherite's changed too. How you get it?
yeah. I heard it's a
lot
little more
harder.
harder to come by.
Yeah.
As if
I'm
it
looking
wasn't
forward to that.
already so hard to find, they made it even harder. Oh, TNT beds, here we come.
No, no more.
Oh, there's no more strip
Only
mining
in
for it?
I'm pretty sure it's only in bastions now.
Oh
from what I
my god,
understand.
yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, the smithing table got changed too.
Wow. They
Yeah,
gotta
changed a lot.
they gotta reinvent the game. That's what keeps us coming back.
I don't really care. It's whatever.
I know you're not really keeping up with Battlefield very much, but I was shocked to see a Season 5, and not only that, but them announce that there's going to be a Season 6. They are still
Wow.
supporting this game, and with that many seasons, I mean, with Season 5 just coming out and Season 6 announced, I mean, we're looking at Battlefield having new content possibly to the end of this year, maybe even next year. If they really wanted to make a Season 7, I could see content into next year.
I can definitely see that.
I just love how Battlefield's still supporting this game. It really shows that they
It's a
care
flop.
about... Huh?
It's a flop.
Well,
Sorry, not sorry. It's a flop.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the player charts, they have been steadily increasing players, and a lot of people say it's getting much better. I have one guy that's just begging me to get back on there.
Maybe
He says it's
yeah,
changed.
maybe it'll end up like Battlefield 4, but man, the hit reg and shit, and just a few things really I didn't like at all when I played it. It takes the competitiveness out of it when you're taking RNG for where shots land. Like, I can kind of get it in World of Tanks or something, but on a shooter game with a gun, if you're 100 meters out and I shoot my gun at you, I should be pretty close to where my reticle is.
Yeah, and Yeah, and Battlefield 2 is way faster paced than World of Tanks. I mean, World of Tanks, it's considerably slow compared to Battlefield. I mean, you're in some, especially like, said 100 yards away or meters away. You're not, I mean, that's right up on a guy.
Yeah.
I've heard it's gotten a lot better, and I'm just kind of taking his word for it. I haven't got on there yet, but he did say something to me that kind of resonates with me. He said, Battlefield has seen my pre-order for the last time, and it's hard to not agree with that because it just seems it takes them so long to iron out the kinks in a game. We've seen it so many times.
Yeah, it takes so long for one to come out, and it's got a shit ton of kinks. Like, that's just not worth paying.
It's just almost worth waiting another year to buy the Battlefield, so it's really got all the bugs worked out.
Yeah, why buy the Battle Pass and all that shit if you're not even going to use it?
That is, yeah, you're not wrong. The Battle Pass especially, people using all, they're just struggling through a game and basically, I would say, hate playing it. Just hoping it'll get better, and it is, but it's a slow fix. It always seems like.
Couldn't be me.
So I didn't stay for the news on Call of Duty because who cares? But apparently, the new Call of Duty season was announced. Cool. Keep taking people's money with your bundles, I guess. If that's your stick, Call of Duty.
It's literally where half of their focus for the game is on those bundles, dude. I swear.
Yeah, and I feel we're as just as I feel like we're justified in talking about Call of Duty with as long as we have put our lives into their franchise. It just hurts us personally.
All my life, dude.
Yeah, it hurts to see the franchise go so low to where they're just scrounging for bundle money. Like, my God, I hate it.
Not like
so
they
much.
have to.
It's just
not like they're not making money on just putting the game out every year.
Call of Duty is just becoming the biggest sellout in gaming right now with this whole bundle scam. Oh well, at least there's not gun or game breaking guns anymore in the bundles. It's just skins, but it's just it's still slimy to see it.
Yeah, I agree. It's not something I enjoy seeing.
But I guess I've kind of beat around this bush too much. I should probably go ahead and tell you a game that you have been anticipating. So have I.
I already know.
And I have been I've been in their dang Discord for over a year now.
Yeah, it's what I thought.
Waiting for news. Waiting. Going through, seeing people give up on the game. This game's dead. And I'm not going to lie. About a couple months ago, I was I moved the Discord server into that trash folder of servers you're still in but don't really care about. And I was like, yep, this is where you're going because I'm pretty sure your game's dead. But they have revived it. And it just sucks because there's nothing worse than having a game that you've pushed back so far, and that's fine. We want a good game, but at the same time, the developers haven't given us any new news since December of 2022. Half a year ago was the last update we got from the developers of this game. And that's so infuriating to the fans, the people who are been waiting, wanting this game, and you've just got us in this radio silence of, is this game dead? Did you run out of money? What happened? But, of course, the game I'm talking about is Party Animals. And if you don't know what that game is, it's a brawler game, very, very similar to Gang Beasts. A lot of people have said it looks like a way better version, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Just kind of been waiting.
Yep. Well, it's just around the corner. I believe I saw September 30th of this year. So
That's not too far.
Very, very excited to see that game come out. For it to be an indie game, I will say I will be on there often. And as much time as we put into Gang Beasts, that game's who knows how old, and we're still on there ripping it up. You better believe we're going to be on some Party Animals. All we can hope is that all the kinks are worked out, because, my God, we have been waiting for this game for so long. It better be polished to a T. Man. I was really hoping that that we'd get some more information about it, but literally all they showed at the event was a very, very short clip of like some YouTubers playing it back whenever it first had a demo, and like that was it. They didn't even breathe a word about the game other than that. It just showed a promotion for it. But it was enough to get me back hyped for the game. You know, I really and truly did think it died.
It looked like it.
Yeah, especially with the radio silence from the developers. That kind of sucks, and all we can hope is that they keep us updated. And my God, if there's another postpone, I don't know if I can hold out much longer. There was a very unique VR game announced at the event called Crossfire Sierra Squad.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that.
You know, I think of a VR shooter game, I'm like, my God, that is the last thing I would want VR is a FPS. But I don't know, it looked well. It looked like almost like Counter-Strike, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really know how that's going to play. It just seems odd to have a VR FPS. It just seems like, I don't know, I get motion sick easy, but that'd definitely be me. I'd be like halfway through a round and have to go throw up. Yeah, that was a unique... I literally thought I was watching Counter-Strike in the event. I thought there was like advertising a new map on Counter-Strike or something. I don't know what I thought I was looking at, but it was it'll be cool to see what they do with that, and if it gets some crazy support. I don't know how big the PC VR community is, but that'll be cool to see.
I think there's a pretty decent community for that.
I could get on just a quick tangent. Have you saw the Apple VR or heard about it?
I don't think so.
Apple just announced, like, I believe sometime this week, that they were making their own VR. Man.
Like headset and everything?
Yep. So, you won't believe what the low price of the Apple VR will be.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
I don't even know if you could take a logical guess, because it's pretty ungodly how much, like, he announced at the Apple event how much the VR headset was, and people audibly gasped. Like, there was no hype at all. They were like, excuse me? Yeah, you can get a Apple VR headset for the low price of $3,500.
God.
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy that?
You know people are gonna buy it, but dude, that is crazy. That is insanity. Like, Apple, I feel like Apple now just don't even care. Like, they're making so much money, they just don't even care anymore.
Yeah, for real.
Like, their iPhones are, well
You're
into the thousands.
The name.
Like, yeah, you definitely are just buying the name. Oh, well. I was telling, back to the whole event, there was one game that I kind of came across. I didn't see it advertised at the event. Like I said, I dipped out after I saw Party Animals. I'm like, that's all I needed to see, and I kind of dipped out. But I was flipping through the Steam page at what games were announced, and there's a really unique game. I actually saw it for a split second on the event, and I kind of thumbed through it, but I can't remember what the name of the guys. But it's Pinocchio, a game about Pinocchio. They said the guy's name, like, it opened up by saying Pinocchio's dad or builder's name. But I was like, oh, what in the world, a Pinocchio game? I fast forwarded a little bit, and then I had to go back because it was like, the game is called Lies of P. So I guess it's going on the whole aspect that Pinocchio can't tell a lie. So,
yeah.
And it follows, like, back in the steampunk era that, the UK was in, and I don't know, just like that atmosphere had me encapsulated in, like, the whole story, like where they could take it. Of course, Pinocchio isn't a wooden toy; he's an actual, like, child in the game, or a small child from what it seems. But I don't know, I'm not much big into story games like that, but that looks like it'd be a cool story to at least hear about.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. Definitely would like to see where that goes.
Another thing, if I'm just hitting on the genre as a whole, like what our kind of the future of gaming, or at least what it kind of looks like this year, there's a big transition into these like medieval and like Viking games for some reason. Like, we saw that with Valhalla, and I feel like that was kind of a turning point, because like most of the games, yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like a big turning point. It's like that got everybody on it. You might even go so far as saying The Witcher really turned people on that, because
Witcher's pretty fun.
I've heard. I got Witcher 3. I played a little bit of it. I'm kind of having a hard time getting into it because it seems like Skyrim, where it's like you can walk about 10 feet and then find a guy with a side quest. And
Yeah.
man, that kind of hits for me a little bit, but it doesn't at the same time. I hate having like a menu full of quests that I need to get done. I like to be able to focus on one. I feel obligated to complete a bunch of side quests, but yeah, I saw a lot of games that were medieval related. Of course, Witcher has their TV series. They advertise the next episode or season or whatever they got going on there. But after that, there was like a medieval game that they were showing off, and you showed me one, I think last year, that was supposed to be an open world or something like that. Was like a medieval game, and it looked a lot of fun. I don't even remember I don't know if you even remember showing me
Yeah, I don't
that.
even know if I remember now.
But yeah, it's like and I'm not mad at it. Of course, it's Viking stuff's cool. I mean, even going back to what's that game called that we played a little bit? Yeah, Valheim. That game was a lot of fun. I actually hated that game at first, and then went back and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is. It's a cool game. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, what games are you excited for coming out this year? I mean, of course, Party Animals. I mean, that's probably going to be the height of what we're excited about.
Yeah, what about Arc 2? Is that...
There wasn't any talk about Arc 2, and I don't think we're going to hear anything about Arc 2 until closer to time. We're still 2 years out, into 2025. Maybe into 2024, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I really don't got a lot of new games. I don't really keep up with any anymore.
Yeah, I know Call of Duty was big for us, but they kind of really punished us, so it kind of burned on that one.
No, I'm not even gonna pre-order none. Probably won't buy it.
I'm stumbling upon a lot of Ark content that I kind of missed out on. Me and Trish are revisiting Ark. We're playing the last DLC map that came out called Lost Island. It's of course got the Derposaur with the spikes on him. It's on there. There was there. I remember seeing it on an Arc tier list. And I'm like, I've never used that, but it looks really cool. It's like a snow version of a rock drake, and it looks like it's got like a cat head. That thing, like, I saw it out in the wild. That thing like does this thing where it pounces like really high up in the air and then like does a dive bomb down.
Cool.
One thing that I've noticed, there's basically another OP dino on Ark, and it's on that map in particular. I think it came out on that map and is primarily on that map, and it's the baboons. Have you seen them yet?
No.
Dude, oh my god. I kid you not, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they took down a 147 Rex like in no time. Like I was looking around to see if there was another Rex, and by the time I looped back around, it was already dead and gone.
Damn.
They yeah, and it's kind of a unique way you tame them. You have to kill every single monkey around it, leaving only one, and at that point, the monkey will become docile, and you can approach it and hand feed it prime meat or whatever. So, and it's kind of hard not to look that up, because I told Trish, I'm like, I'm going to try my best to figure out how to tame this thing, because it says it's a passive tame if you look at it through my modded spyglass. So I was like, okay, there's got to be a way. And then Trish was like, okay, there's juveniles riding on the monkey's back. I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to be a rock drake or a wyvern situation where you have to take the young. Nope, it's not at all. And I was like, I was trying so hard, I killed every one of them but the baby, and they were like, where's my mommy? I'm like, I don't know. Let me tame you. But yeah, it was unique. That's one thing I'm really respecting about Ark here lately, is the new additions to the games have unique ways of taming. It's not just your typical knockout, force feed, whatever. It's these unique ways of taming, and I really like that adaptation of Ark, how they're adding new and interesting ways on how to tame dinos.
Yeah, I definitely think that kind of gets it out of the bland, AFK at the dino.
Yeah, because it definitely like that, especially high level tames on like no double XP servers. You're like taming something for 5 hours.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, let me go to the gas station real quick.
Yeah.
Let me go dine in somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in personal life gaming news, me and my wife finished Sons of the Forest. That was a lot of fun. That game, such, some game sequels hit and some don't, but man, Sons of the Forest, it hit hard as a sequel. It was really well. They did a fantastic job with the second Forest. Like, great story for what that game is, just a sandbox survival game. The story is so rich. Like, they did so much with the story, and in the game, like, every 5 day, or I think it's every 5 days, on the normal difficulty, you'll have snow hit the whole island, and it's like food is super scarce, and I think stuff attacks you more. They come to your base, of course they're seeking food too, and you are their food, so they kind of hunt you out. And there's I think on hard mode, or maybe it's realistic mode, I don't know, it's whatever the hardest difficulty is. It's like the winter comes at a normal time, like after a certain amount of weeks, but oh my god, it lasts so much longer. Like winter lasts like 2 or 3 4 days on the normal difficulty, but on hard it's like it lasts like a month in game time. It's pretty crazy. It's brutal.
Dang.
So they really pinned you against the environment, and it makes it even worse because you really have to travel for water, because any still water actually freezes. So you can't getting water could be an issue if you're in a remote area, or like live on a lake or something, because that lake's gonna freeze. But
Yeah, I haven't played that game, but I really need to, I think.
It's it can get boring at times, I can admit, but they really beefed up the whole building system. That was great to see. Yeah, that game, it's really fun. I will admit, it's a really fun game. They did really well with it, and they're still updating. I mean, they added to where you can build with stone, I think a couple weeks ago, and they have like monthly updates. Like at every title screen, it has like a countdown to the next update, and it's always like about a month away. So it's really nice to see that they're going to be constantly supporting this game.
Yeah, that definitely keeps the game alive too, and I think every community wants to see that.
Yeah, that's about all I've got. I'm fired up about party animals. Most importantly, I just can't wait.
Yeah, I don't really think I got anything else to say. I've just been playing Minecraft.
Minecrafting it up. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
someday
some
we'll have
Rocket
like
League, but
maybe someday we'll have like a fan server or something. I know. In other news, let me just click on this real quick. There. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Streamer weekend of Alpha 21 on 7 days is this weekend. So, if you remember back to whenever I covered the first dev stream on Alpha 21, I mentioned that they said that the release of Alpha 21 would be after the streaming weekend. So I guess kind of be looking for some 7 days Alpha 21 content not long after this weekend. So definitely keep you up to date on that. And I mean, that's something I would be interested in, starting like a 7-day server. I don't know how that would work, because of course the days are going to pass by, but yeah, it would be a lot of fun to try that. But that's all I've got, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's throw to an outro. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. If you did, be sure to go visit our social medias. Definitely hit up our TikTok and our Instagram. We have a lot of fun interacting with you guys outside of the show. And if you want to keep up with us, definitely follow us on there. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.